No, thanks very much, Tom. So second, I'd like to invite up our second co-sponsor, Gas Networks Ireland. So David Kelly is Director of Customer and Business Development within Gas Networks Ireland. As you would know, GNI operate our €3 billion, 15,000 kilometre gas network, and they ensure the safe, reliable supply of gas throughout the country to over 700,000 homes. As part of his role within GNI, David is responsible for their ambition to replace natural gas with renewable gases such as biomethane and hydrogen, and to reduce the country's carbon emissions overall, and complementing our intermittent renewable electricity supply through our gas portfolio of electricity plants. So David, if I can invite you. Thank you very much.
Morning, everybody. Genius move by Sean to host this in Dunleary in the midst of an election and to invite the Minister for Circular Economy here, so fair play. You're very welcome, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests and fellow advocates of renewable energy. I'm really delighted on behalf of Gas Networks Ireland as a proud sponsor of the event to stand before you today, and it's a really important renewable biomethane and bioenergy conference. It's great to see the continued commitment to Ireland's energy transition, where we come together to explore and promote the vital role of renewable gas in Ireland. I'm particularly proud that Gas Networks Ireland's association with this event, reaffirming our deep commitment to a greener, more sustainable future for the country. As you all know, the energy landscape is rapidly evolving. We've seen that particularly over the last 3 years with the unfortunate and very difficult situation in Ukraine. And we're witnessing an unprecedented shift towards renewable energy sources. Here in Ireland, we're blessed with rich natural resources, wind, solar, and now the growing potential of biomethane. In this context, I'd like to highlight the significance of the National Biomethane Strategy that was launched by government in May of this year. The strategy is really welcome and has provided a much-needed roadmap outlining the enormous potential of biomethane as a cornerstone of Ireland's renewable energy future. And by leveraging sustainable agricultural waste and other organic materials, biomethane has the potential to replace a significant portion of the fossil fuels that we currently transport in our gas grid, approximately 57 terawatts per annum. And just to reiterate, of that 57 terawatts, 65% of that goes into electricity generation. I don't think a lot of people appreciate that. People focus on gas in homes, whereas like 2/3 of the gas that we import, either from Corrib or across the interconnectors, goes into electricity. And like half of our electricity is coming from that. Sometimes it's 90%, sometimes it's 10%, depending on how the wind is blowing. But it's a really important point. So by leveraging that sustainable agricultural waste, biomethane can replace that fossil gas. And with the right infrastructure and investment, biomethane could help decarbonise our industry, our heating, our transport sectors, certainly the heavy goods transport sector, providing clean, reliable energy while supporting rural economies. And at Gas Networks Ireland, we've made major strides in preparing for the transition. Over the past 8 years, and I'll just reiterate that, 8 years in particular, we've been laying the groundwork so we're ready to accommodate as much indigenous biomethane as can be produced onto the grid by 2030. This work included amending the regulated connections policy, the regulated code of operations. We rolled out the green gas certificate system. We standardised the design for directly connected plants. We've developed a contract now for directly connected plants, and we're subsequently contracting. We have 5 entities, projects that are now contracted to directly connect to the grid, and we are commenced construction on our first central grid injection facility in Mitchelstown. There's a further 5 projects that are likely to connect or contract before the end of this year. And these are scale projects. They're not small AD plants. Some of them are in operation today, and then some of them are under construction. But it's quite exciting that we're at the start of that. We know that biomethane is not just a future solution. It's a solution for today. And in the RFI, the request for information that we issued back in 2022 to developers, it was a blunt instrument, and I will reiterate this point. We sent it out to every project developer that had ever expressed an interest in building a biomethane plant. And we asked them, look, where are you at now? That was the question ultimately. But we wanted a bit of colour. We wanted to know where they are in the planning process, where are they at with feedstock? Where are they at in terms of financing? We need to understand the maturity of the projects. And in response, 176 distinct projects came back, and that was 14.8 terawatts of gas. Appreciate not all of it's going to come to life, but even if half of it came to life, that's a big, big chunk of the gas demand that we see today. So it represented nearly 3 times the government's target for 2030, which was 10% of Ireland's gas demand. And that was in line with REPowerEU, which was the European Union's response to the Russia-Ukraine crisis and the dependence in certain countries on Russian gas. However, and here's where I bring the mood down a little bit. So as excited as we are about the progress that we've made thus far, we must acknowledge the challenges that still lie ahead. One of the key obstacles we face is the absence of long-term operational support for biomethane production from the Irish government. And while there is no shortage of ambition or commitment within the sector, the lack of a clear, stable support framework, in our view, creates uncertainty for those looking to invest in this vital area. And without such support, it becomes difficult to scale up the production of biomethane, attract private sector investment, or give producers the confidence they need to embark on long-term projects. And this is an issue that we feel must be addressed urgently. Other European countries have already recognised the importance of providing clear and consistent operational supports, and Ireland risks falling behind. We're already behind. We risk falling behind further if we do not act soon. And if we were serious about meeting our national climate targets, biomethane must be prioritised as part of the broader decarbonisation strategy. It's not just a matter of environmental responsibility, it's an economic opportunity that can create jobs, enhance energy security, and ensure that rural and agricultural communities play a central role in the clean energy transition. So our ask to the government is simple, but it's crucial. We need a long-term operational support mechanism that gives certainty to biomethane producers. This will unlock the potential of the National Biomethane Strategy and help us achieve the government's ambitious targets. We also call for collaboration between industry, policymakers and other stakeholders to ensure that this transition is not just technically feasible, but financially and commercially viable. So to those in the room who are working tirelessly to advance the biomethane agenda, I want to say thank you. Your innovation, your passion, your dedication are helping to build a greener Ireland for future generations. I'm confident that with your continued efforts, biomethane can and will become a key part of our national energy mix. And as we look to the future, I urge everyone here to continue advocating for the support and investment necessary to make biomethane a central pillar of Ireland's energy transition. And together we can unlock the full potential of biomethane renewable gas, reducing our carbon footprint and ensuring a sustainable secure energy future for all. And with that, I wish you a really good conference. Thanks very much.